This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Jyotirmay, am I audible? Right. Now, the next topic, a function can be defined in 4 models: with argument, with return, with argument, without return, without argument, with return, without argument, without return. In this way, you can define any function in following 4 models based upon your requirement. Now, stages of a function. Now, there are 3 stages in defining a function. There are 3 stages in defining a function. One is function declaration. It is also called as function prototype. Second one is function definition. Third one is function calling. Function calling. Right. Now, what is the meaning of function declaration, function definition, function calling? See here, I am going to explain a small program to you just to add 2 numbers. What I am going to do? Adding 2 numbers. So I am going to define a function sum. I am carrying 2 arguments, one is A, one is B. How to add these 2? Just A plus B is the code. After adding, I want to return the result, so I am using the keyword return. So A, B, these 2 are integers. Now A plus B also integer. So my return data type is integer. Now it is called as function definition. you define the function how to add two numbers, right? So it is called as function definition. In main function, you have to write the prototype. Prototype is nothing but plan. So what is the function you are going to define here? Sum. Are you carrying any arguments? Yes, I am carrying two arguments, means two integers. Are you returning any result? Yes, I am returning one result, so integer. So it is a guide, it is just like as a plan. It is for compiler, not for you, not for me. So this line is called as function declaration. It is also called as function prototype. Now here, by seeing this, I came to know that I have to pass two numbers and I have to store the results. So I have to create three variables. One is A, its value is 10. One is B, its value is 20. To store the result, I am creating one more variable R. See this, it is two variables, it is one variable. So totally we have to create three variables. Now what to do? Now we have to call this function. How to call this function? What is the name of this function? Sum. So sum of, what we have to do? We have to pass two numbers. What are the numbers here? A comma B. So pass A comma B. A comma B. After finding the sum, it will return the result. So the result should be stored in R. R equal to. From here, the values of AB means 10 and 20 passed from here to here. Now 10 will be stored in A, 20 will be stored in B. Now A plus B means 10 plus 20, 30. That was returned back. That 30 will be stored in R. Now R contains result, so I am going to print the result. Printf. Result equal to percentage D comma R. Now this is called as function calling statement. Sum of AB. Here you are calling the function. So it is called as function calling. Right. Now save this program. Execute this program. See the result equal to 30. First of all, your program execution begins from here. After that, it enter into the body. In ninth line, you write just a prototype, means declaration. Nothing will be happen there. You are saying to compiler that I am going to define a function. Its name is sum. It carries two arguments and it return one result. Just you are saying that. Nothing will be happen here. After that, computer will create three variables: A, B, R. A value is 10, B value is 20, R value is nothing. After that, function sum of A comma B, it will be executed. It is nothing but a function calling. Whenever you call a function, then what happens? Control jumped from here to here. Whenever compiler see a function calling statement, then control jumped from this function to this function. While jumping, the values of A and B, what are the values of AB? 10 and 20. Those two carries from here to here. First value 10 will be stored in A, second value 20 will be stored in B. Now A plus B means 10 plus 20, 30. That was returned back. What is the value returning from some function? That will be stored in R. So its return value stores in R. Now R contains sum. So I am printing the sum value. Now execute this program. You will get result equal to 30. In this way, you can find the sum of two numbers using functions concept. Now it is nothing but function definition. It is nothing but function declaration. Here you are calling the function, so it is nothing but function calling. In your program, you divide the program into two parts. One is main, second one is sum. Main function, it is calling to some function, so it is called as calling function. Main is called as calling function. Some function is was called by main function, so it is called as called function. It was called as called function. It is calling function. It is called function. So these are the terminology you have to understand while defining the function. So right. Now we can define some programs here. First concept, write a program to find area of a rectangle using functions of with arguments and with return model. The program is look like. Read out this. What you have to do? You have to define a function. In that function, you have to find the area of rectangle. How that function should be? That function should carry the arguments and that function should return the result. Right. Now I will explain the program here. What we have to find? We have to find the area of rectangle. So I am defining a function area. Is it with argument model or without argument model? He said with argument. Right. With argument means you have to pass some values in this bracket. To find the area of rectangle, what are the values we required? We required length and width. So I am passing length as well as width. Now you have length as well as width. How to find the area? What is the logic? Length into width. It is the formula to find the area. After finding the area, you have to return back. So return. Why? Because he said with return. So I am returning the result. Now L is integer, W is integer, L into W also integer. So your return data type is integer. Integer return data type we have to write there. Now it is a function to find the area of rectangle. That's it. Now every program should have a main method, void main. Right. Now, first of all, you have to write the function prototype. Prototype means function declaration. By seeing this line, you can define that. What is the return data type? Integer. What is the function name? Area. It is carrying how many arguments? Two integer arguments. So int comma int. It is the function prototype. Now what to do? Now we have to take two variables. One is length, second one is width. After that, you have to create a variable to store the result. So I am creating three variables. One is length, second one is width. I am creating one more variable, result. You can directly assign length and width, or you can read also. Now I am going to read the length and width. Printf. Enter length comma width. Scanf percentage d ampersand l comma ampersand w. Now you have to find the area. So I am calling this function area. To this we have to pass two values, L and W. L value comma W value. Now here this function will find the length area and return the result. So I am going to store the result in R. Now in R you have result, so print it. Area equal to percentage D comma R. It is the program. I will explain how this will be executed. First, your execution begins from sixth line. Sixth line. After that, control move to eighth line. Nothing will be happen here. It is just a prototype. That's it. It is just plan. After that, ninth line will be executed. It creates three variables L, W, and R. After that 10th line will be executed. It asks to enter length and width. You type two values. Those two values readed by 11th line. After that, 12th line, it is a function calling statement. Whenever the compiler see a function calling, then control move to calling function to called function from here. Here the product of length comma width will be done. That will be written back. The result will be stored in R. After that, result is printing in 13th line. It is the way of executing the program. Now execute this. Length is 100. Width is 20. Right. The area is 2000. In this way, you can find the area of rectangle using the functions. Using the now note on this. From here, you write this. Amma, is there any pending to write? Shagil Khan? Shagil Khan, you note on this one? Shagil Khan, you through me.
Yes, sir.
Right. From here, you have to note down. Note on this.
complicated.
Right. Now the next program. Write a program to test given number is odd or even using functions of with arguments and without return model. Actually, it is the second model with arguments and without return model. What we have to do? We have to test a number whether it is odd or even. Now, I am going to define a function test. Now, is it with argument or without argument? With argument means you have to pass an argument. What you have to test here? You have to test a number. So, you pass one argument. Is it with return, without return? Without return. If you are not going to return anything, here you need to mention void. Void means no return. Here what to do? You have to test the number, whether it is odd or even. Number mod 2 equal to 0. Then you should not return. You have to print here itself. Even number. Else odd number. No return statement here. That's why I used void here. Void mean. Now, write the prototype. What is the return data type? Void. What is the function name? Test. What is the argument? Integer. It is the argument. By seeing this one, we should came to know how many variables we record here. Only one variable. So integer number. Read this number. Enter a number. Scanf percentage d comma ampersand number. Now pass this number to test function. Now you have a number, you pass here. Test of number. The number you typed, come to here. If it is even number, print even number, otherwise print odd number. Right? Now you are not going to return anything. So you should not write r equal to b equal to c equal to. You should not write like this. Why? Because it is a without return model. Now printing total code was completed here. So no return, no printf here. Right. Now execute this program. Enter number 10. 10 is even number. So in this way, we have to define the function. Now I will explain the output. 10. 10 is even number. Right. It is the program. Write on this. Second program completed or not? Right. Now see this. The third program. What we have to do? We have to find the simple interest. For that we have to use functions. Which model? Without arguments means no arguments. With return means you have to return the result. Right now, see here. Here you have to find the simple interest. So find with argument or without argument? Without argument. So don't write anything here. Why? Because it is without argument. With return or without return? With return. So specify the return data type. Int. Right. Now what to do? If you have principal amount, time and rate of interest, then you can find directly the simple interest. But you don't have PTR values. Now what to do? We have to create PTR values. PTR, comma simple interest. SI. Now read the PTR values. Why? Because you don't have. So enter PTR values. Scan them. Percentage D, percentage D, percentage D, ampersand P, ampersand T, ampersand R, PTR values. Now what to do? You have to find the simple interest. What is the formula? P into R by 100. So I am returning simple interest. This is the logic. He asked to define a function without argument. So I am not passing any arguments to here. So without having PTR values, how can you find the simple interest? You cannot find. So create PTR, read PTR values, find a simple interest. Then you have to return the result or not return. Yes, you have to return the result. So return. Why? Because he mentioned with return. You should return, but you should not carry any arguments. By using that model, you have to solve this program. All right. Now, every program should have a main method. So void main. Prototype. What is the prototype? Return data type is integer. So integer. Function name is find. No arguments. This is the prototype. Here you need not to pass any arguments from here to here, but it is returning the result. So take a variable to store the result. Simple interest. Just call the function find. Now what happens? Whenever you call the function, control move from here to here and create PTR values and SI. Read PTR values, find the simple interest value, return the result. So the result you have to store here. SI. Or you can take R also. If you take R, then you have to take R here. Now, after that, you have result here. Then you have to print simple interest equal to percentage D comma R. That's it. You are return the result. You are catching. After that, you are printing. Now execute this program. PTR values 10,000 is the P value. Time 2 months. Rate of interest 3 rupees. Now you have to pay simple interest 600. In this way, you have to solve this problem. Write on this. Right. Next program. Write a program to swap two numbers using functions of without arguments and without return. It is the program. Wait a minute, Amma. Right. Now, see here. What we have to do, we have to swap. So I am defining a function swap. With argument or without argument? Without argument. So you should not write anything inside the bracket. With return or without return? Without return. So you have to mention void here. It is nothing but without arguments and without return. Now to swap two numbers, you require two variables, a comma b. But two numbers you don't have. So what to do? You have to take two variables, a comma b. To swapping, you require temporary variable t. First of all, read two numbers. Enter two numbers. Scanf percentage d, comma ampersand a, comma ampersand b. Now what to do? You have to swap. Swapping means t equal to a equal to b equal to t. Now you have to print the result here itself. Why? Because you should not return. So a value I am printing, a equal to percentage d comma a. Now printf b equal to percentage d comma b. Now main function void main. What is the prototype? Return type is void. Function name is swap. No arguments. Here you need not to pass any arguments. You need not to store the result also. Why? Because no return, no argument. So just call the function. So whenever you call the function, control move from here to here. Then three variables created. Read the two numbers, swap two numbers, print the result. Total program completed here itself. Here you did not write anything. Now it is the way of solving this program. Enter two numbers 10 and 20. Now you got 20 and 10. So in this way, you can swap two numbers without using functions of which model? Without arguments and without return model. Right. This is the program. Note on this. Right. Now, the next topic in functions, that is recursion functions. Recursion functions, it is also called as recursive function. Both are same. What is the meaning of recursion function or recursive function? In this program, see here, main function is calling to swap function, so it is called as calling function. Am I right? Swap function is calling by main function, so it is called as called function. Calling function, it is called function. Both are different or both are same? Both are different. I am calling to Shagil, so I am calling, Shagil was called. Both are different. But recursion function means a function which was called by itself. Means calling function as well as called function, both are same. If I call myself, then it is called recursion function. So a function which was called by itself is called recursion function, or a function which acts as calling function as well as called function, that is called as recursion function. Now I will give an example on this. Write a program to find factorial of given number using recursion function. Using recursion function, you have to find the factorial of given number. Now, before going to solve this, I will explain how to solve this program. Now, I am asking one question. What is factorial of 1? Factorial of 1 means 1 into 1. That is 1. Now, what is factorial of 2? That is equal to 2 into 1. That is equal to 2 into 1. 1 means factorial of 1. Am I right? So, I am using factorial of 1 here. So, how to find factorial of 2? 2 into factorial of 1 is the formula. Now, factorial of 3. How to find factorial of 3? 3 into 2 into 1 equal to 3 into 2 into 1. It is equal to 2 into 1 is equal to factorial of 2. Am I right? So, 3 into factorial of 2. Now, in this concern, now how to find a factorial of 10? 10 into factorial of 9. Am I right? Now, how to find a factorial of n? N into factorial of n minus 1. Am I right? Right. Here, you have to by heart, you have to remember these two lines. These two are very, very important. This line as well as right. By seeing these two lines, I will write the function here. Now, here I have to find the factorial value. So, function name is fact. I am passing a number n. We have to find the factorial of n. After finding the factorial, I will return the result. So, integer. I am checking if n value is 1 or not. If n equal to 1, means if n value 1, then what is the answer? 1. Factorial of 1 is 1. So, return 1. Else, if n value is not equal to 1, then it may be true, it may be 3, it may be 4, it may be 10. Now you have to write else if n equal to 2, else if n equal to 3, else if n equal to 4, and so on. N number of else if you have to write. I am not writing the code for all these. I am writing the code for n. Now the variable is n. Now how to find nth factorial? What is the formula? N into factorial of n minus 1. It is the recursion function program to find the factorial of a number. Now where recursion, see this, factorial function is calling by itself. So it is called as a recursion function, a function which was called by itself. Now write a main function, void main, write a prototype, integer fact of int. Now here you have to pass a number, means n value. You have to store the result, means r value. First of all, read n value, enter a number, scanf percentage d comma m percent number means n. Now you have to pass this n value to factorial function. You have to store the result in r. Factorial function find the result of factorial and return the result. I am storing in r. I am printing here factorial equal to percentage d comma r. Now execute this program. 5 factorial, it is giving 120. Got it? In this way, you can find the factorial of a given number using recursion function. Now it is the program function. If n equal to 1 means number 1. What is the factorial of number 1? 1. So return 1. Else means number n. What is the factorial of n? N into factorial of n minus 1. That's it. Now write. Ma completed. If completed, remaining programs I will explain tomorrow, right? Okay, okay, ma. Okay, right.